Organizing your writing. The method of organization you choose for your essay is just as important as its content. Without a clear organizational pattern, your reader would become confused and lose interest. The way you structure your essay helps your readers draw connections between the body and the thesis and the structure. It also keeps you focused as you plan and write the essay. Choosing your organizational pattern before you outline ensures that each body paragraph works to support and develop your thesis. This section covers 3 ways to organize body paragraphs: chronological order, order of importance, spatial order. When you begin to draft your essay, your ideas may seem to flow from your mind in a seemingly random manner. Your readers who bring to the table different backgrounds and viewpoints need you to clearly organize your ideas to help them process your essay. A solid organizational pattern gives you your ideas a path that you can follow as you develop your draft. Chronological order is mostly used in expository writing in order to explain the history of an event or topic, to tell a story or relate an experience, to explain how to do or make something, to explain the steps in a process. You have to know this for the quiz, because on the quiz they're going to ask you why and how is chronological order used. And then you have to know all of that to explain the history of a topic, to tell a story, to explain how to do something, to explain the steps in a process. And it's mostly used in expository writing. Expository writing is a form of writing that narrates, describes, informs, or explains a process. When using chronological order, arrange the events in the order that they actually happen or will happen if you are giving instructions. This method requires you to use words such as first, second, then, after, that, later, and finally. These transition words guide you and your reader through the paper as you expand your thesis. Order of importance. The order of importance is best used for the following purposes: persuading and convincing, ranking items by their importance, benefit, or significance, illustrating a situation, problem, or solution. Most essays move from the least to the most important point, and the paragraphs are arranged in an effort to build the essay's strength. Sometimes, however, it is necessary to begin with your most important supporting point, such as in an essay that contains a thesis that is highly debatable. When writing a persuasive essay, it is best to begin with the most important point because it immediately captivates your reader and compels them to continue reading. For example, spatial order. Spatial order is best used for the following purposes: helping readers visualize something as you want them to see it, evoking a scene using the senses, sight, touch, taste, smell, sound, writing a descriptive essay. Spatial order means that you explain or describe objects as they are arranged around you in your space. For example, in a bedroom. As the writer, you create a picture for your reader, and their perspective is the viewpoint from which you describe what is around you. The view must move in an orderly, logical progression, giving the reader clear directional signals to follow from place to place. The key to using this method is to choose a specific starting point and then guide the reader to follow your eyes as it moves in an orderly trajectory from your starting point. Show long description. And so when you have a, let's say if I want to describe my study room, in front of me is my computer. Under my computer screen lies my calendar, my yellow brief pad, notebook, my pens and pencils, my telephone, and then next to my computer screen are my computer paper, and then next to the computer paper is my printer. And then underneath the printer is the filing cabinet, and then next to the filing cabinet is a chair. So here I describe the spatial order in space of what my study room looks like. And I use a lot of prepositional words like next to, behind, under, on top of. And so here in this example, attached to my bedroom wall is a small wooden rack dangling with red and turquoise necklaces that shimmer as you enter. Just to the right of the rack is my window, framed by billowy white curtains. So here you describe your room. And so as you do that, you would use possible transition words when using spatial order. Just to the left, just to the right, behind, between, on the left or on the right, across from, a little further down, to the south, to the east, a few yards away, turning left or turning right. So that's how you do a long description. Key takeaways. The way you organize your body paragraphs ensures you and your readers stay focused on and draw connections to your thesis statement. A strong organizational pattern allows you to articulate, analyze, and clarify your thoughts. Planning the organizational structure for your essay before you begin to search is a good idea. Chronological order is most commonly used in expository writing. It is useful for explaining the history of your subject, for telling a story, or for explaining a process. Order of importance is most appropriate in a persuasion paper, as well as for essays in which you rank things, people, or events by their significance. Spatial order describes things as they are arranged in space, and is best for helping readers visualize something as you want them to see it. It creates a dominant impression. So there ends this section on organizing your writing. And so the next one is going to be about writing introductory and concluding paragraphs. Picture your introduction as a storefront window. You have a certain amount of space to attract your customers, readers, to your good subject and bring them inside your store discussion. Once you have enticed them with something intriguing, you then point them in a specific direction and try to make the sale, convince them to accept your thesis. Your introduction is an invitation to your readers to consider what you have to say and then follow your train of thought as you expand upon your thesis statement. An introduction serves the following purposes. It establishes your voice and tone or your attitude toward the subject. It introduces the general topic of the essay. It states the thesis that will be supported in the body paragraphs. First impressions are crucial and can leave lasting effects in your reader's mind, which is why the introduction is so important to your essay. And so your introduction is an upside down triangle because you start the introduction with a broad general statement and then you finish the introduction with your specific thesis statement. So when you start out broad and you end up very specific, then that is known as the funnel introduction paragraph or the funnel technique. And so your introduction should begin with an engaging statement, a hook, devised to provoke your reader's interest. In the next few sentences, introduce them to your topic by stating general facts or ideas about the subject. As you move deeper into your introduction, you gradually narrow the focus, moving closer and closer to your thesis. Moving smoothly and logically from your introductory remarks to your thesis statement can be achieved using this funnel technique. So this is known as a funnel introduction paragraph. Immediately capturing your reader's attention increases the chance of having them read your essay. You can garner curiosity for your essay in a number of ways, appealing to their emotions, using logic, beginning with a provocative question or opinion, opening with a startling statistic or surprising fact, raising a question or series of questions, presenting an explanation or a rationalization for your essay, opening with a relevant quotation or incident, opening with a striking image, including a personal anecdote. So these are all different ways you can not only hook your reader, but also different ways in which you can write your introduction. So here is an example introduction. Play Atari on a General Electric brand television set, maybe watch Dynasty, that's a hook, or read old newspaper articles on microfiche at the library. 30 years ago, the average college student did not have many options when it came to entertainment in the form of technology. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the digital age has revolutionized the way people entertain themselves. In today's rapidly evolving world of digital technology, consumers are bombarded with endless options for how they do most everything from buying and reading books to taking and developing photographs. In a society that is obsessed with digital means of entertainment, it is easy for the average person to become baffled. Now you have the thesis statement. Your thesis statement is always the last sentence of your introduction. Everyone wants the best and newest digital technology, but the choices are many and the specifications are often confusing. So that's going to be the topic of your essay. Writing a conclusion. It is not unusual to want to rush when you approach your conclusion, and even experienced writers may fade. But what good writers remember is that it is vital to put in as much attention into the conclusion as it is to the rest of the essay. A conclusion that does not correspond to the rest of your essay, has loose ends, or is unorganized can unsettle your readers. So when you write your essay, your conclusion, you want to give closure. Keep in mind that the ideas in your conclusion must conform to the rest of your essay. In order to tie these components together, restate your thesis at the beginning of your conclusion. So the very first sentence of your conclusion is where you restate your thesis. This helps the reader assemble in an orderly fashion all the information you have explained in the body. Repeating your thesis reminds your readers of the major arguments you have been trying to prove and also indicates that your essay is drawing to a close. A strong conclusion also reviews your main points and emphasizes the importance of the topic. The construction of the conclusion is similar to the introduction, in which you make introductory statements and then present your thesis. The difference is that in the conclusion, you first paraphrase or state in specific words, in different words, your thesis, and then follow up with general remarks. These sentences should progressively broaden the focus of your conclusion. So it is wise to avoid doing any of the following in your conclusion: introducing new material, contradicting your thesis, changing your thesis, using apologies or disclaimers. Introducing new material in your conclusion has an unsettling effect on your reader. When you raise new points, you make your reader want more information, which you cannot possibly provide in the limited space of a final paragraph. Contradicting or changing your thesis statement causes your readers to think that you do not actually have a conviction about your topic. After all, you have spent several paragraphs adhering to a singular point of view. When you change sides or open up your point of view in the conclusion, your reader becomes less inclined to believe in your original argument. By apologizing for your opinion or stating that you know it is tough to digest, you are in fact admitting that even you know what you have discussed is irrelevant or unconvincing. You do not want your readers to feel this way. Effective writers stand by their thesis statement and do not stray from it. So make sure your essay, here is an effective conclusion paragraph. In a society fixated on the latest and smartest digital technology, A consumer can easily become confused by the countless options and specifications. The ever-changing state of digital technology challenges consumers with its updates and add-ons and expanding markets and incompatible formats and restrictions, a fact that is complicated by salesmen who want to sell them anything. In a world that is increasingly driven by instant gratification, it's easy for people to buy the first thing they see. The solution for many people should be to avoid buying on impulse. Consumers should think about what they really need, not what is advertised. So make sure your essay is balanced by not having excessively long or short introduction or conclusions. Check that they match each other in length as closely as possible. In other words, all of the paragraphs in your essay should all have 5 to 7 sentences. On the job, you will sometimes give oral presentation based on research you have conducted. A concluding statement to an oral report contains the same elements as a written conclusion. You should wrap up your presentation by restating the purpose of the presentation, reviewing its main points, and emphasizing the importance of the material you presented. A strong conclusion will leave a lasting impression on your audience. Key takeaways. A strong opening captures your reader's interest and introduces them to your topic before you present your thesis statement. An introduction should restate your thesis, review your main points, and emphasize the importance of the topic. The funnel technique to writing the introduction begins with generalities and gradually narrows your focus until you present your thesis. A good introduction engages people's emotions or logic, questions or explains the subject, or provides a striking image or quotation. Carefully chosen diction in both the introduction and conclusion prevents any confusing or boring ideas. A conclusion that does not connect to the rest of the essay can diminish the effect of your paper. The conclusion should remain true to your thesis statement. It is best to avoid changing your tone or your main idea, and avoid introducing any new material in your conclusion. Closing with a final, emphatic statement provides closure for your readers and makes your essay more memorable. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Professor H Writing channel, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time.